be like, damn, slow down. I know you see a queen adjusting her crown. She been knocked down, but she never stayed down. She been living life like it's her playground. And they be like, damn, slow down. They can catch us, she be moving too fast.
Hey everyone, happy Sunday, y'all. Happy last Sunday of May. Happy. I hope you guys are having an amazing start to your day. I know I am. What do you guys have planned? So for us, we are actually going to be having a little swim party, and we are going to be barbecuing, or not barbecuing, but like having some fried fish. So I'm excited for today, and then we have tomorrow off. So I'm really excited to enjoy some free time with my family after I get off this live. Let me go ahead and see who all is in here. Hey Tails, she said, hello, I was thinking more of the show Saints and Sinners. I actually have not seen that. What is it about? Is it kind of like Greenleaf? Hey Ty, hey Miss Rye, hey Tracy. Tracy, I made you a mod. Let me make sure it works. I made you a mod when I was watching my replay of the last live. Hold on, let me make sure it's working. Please go ahead and thumbs up the live on y'all way in, y'all. I told y'all I was going to come in and give y'all part 2. And I just want to say, if you are in a vulnerable space right now, because I know times are really hard, and a lot of people are not able to really, consume this type of information, type of content, please click off, and I will see you guys in another video. This story kind of fell in my lap, but y'all know I really don't like to do SA stories a lot of time, especially when it involves children. It's just something I cannot cover, but once I started it, I have to finish it. So if you guys cannot take those type of stories, please click off, because I have my own theories and opinions on what's going on. We're still going to react to our good sis Stephanie's TikToks. We're going to get that done first, and then we're going to go on to the side of what I feel to be real, and how I, not real, but what I think about this whole situation. Oh, wow. Tell says Saints and Sinners is similar to the Cora situation or allegations. I heard it's produced by TD Jakes. Okay, I'm going to look into that afterwards, because I may be going down some more paths. But has everyone caught up on what has been going on with these serious allegations of Cora Jakes, which is TD Jakes' daughter? And the thing is, it doesn't just stop at Cora Jakes. In my opinion, it looks like the whole entire family is going to be under scrutiny, as well as the church, the mega church that they own and run, as well as all of the conferences that they hold. You cannot just take one part of this without looking at the other hand. And in all reality, Cora is what kicked it off. Cora's story, or her allegations, as well as her husband's allegations, is what kicked it off. But I feel like we are looking into all of them now, and we have so many questions. And I truly was, I didn't think that it was going to get like this, but it's starting to make sense as to why people say what they say about the church. So just to give you guys a refresher, if you guys missed part 1 or have not been in the loop, Cora Jakes is TD Jakes' daughter. She is a minister as well. They all work outside of the family church, which is a mega church in Texas. It's called the Potter's House, and that is what she is known for. She's known for being TD Jakes' daughter. She was married up until this year. She is a newly divorced woman, but she has 2 adopted children. The 2 adopted children are seen here on the screen. They are all grown up now. Well, earlier this month, a woman by the name of Michelle came out and said that the son that you guys seen in my last picture that I just posted actually is her child, and that Cora allegedly coerced her into signing over her rights to him after a series or a timeline of basically conditioning and grooming her to feel like she was not an adequate parent. Michelle is already a mother of 3 before she had the son, which is named Jason, and she was just going through a hard time. And at that time is when she confided in the church, and that's when she fell upon Cora. And Cora, appeared to be like her knight in shining armor, her saving angel, where she was just telling her all the things she wanted to hear. She was going to help her. She was going to get through this. But then the conversation started to switch to more like, you had this baby for me. You are not fit to have this baby. You are not fit to raise this baby. And now here we are years later, and Cora actually has full custody of this baby. Cora's husband is actually in jail right now due to serious SA allegations against their daughter, you guys. And on top of that, more people are coming forward about allegations concerning Cora's ex-husband, and we're going to go ahead and break that down after we react. So the first person that broke this story was Larry Reed. He is on YouTube. If you guys did not know, check him out. He is the one that has been speaking closely with Michelle in regards to her story. But there was a TikToker by the name of Stephanie that actually stepped in, and she started to look into it as well, as well as with her followers. And what they found was some shocking information about the Jakes family. So Cora, we all know that she is infertile. She deals with infertility. She has said this with her own words on her Instagram channel or page. She has talked about it. She's been very vocal about it. She has written about it in books. So this is something that we are repeating based off of what Cora has admitted to herself. So she deals with infertility, but she wants to be a mother, and rightfully so. She's married. She's the youth pastor. She is all around someone that just, wants to be a mother. Well, they dug up the fact that she has a weird obsession with dolls, and that the dolls' names coincidentally match the adopted children's names, and she's already allegedly changed the baby James, the son that was allegedly stole from the mother Michelle. She's changed his name. So they all already dug up the fact that she was at one time a nanny, and she may or may not have had other children come in and out of her house. I believe that those were dolls, but we do not know. This is pure speculation based off of her old tweets. Stephanie also broke down the TD Jakes family as a whole in regards to Sarah. Y'all know Sarah is TD Jakes' other daughter, who was known for having a teenage pregnancy. She actually had her baby at 14. He broke down the connection to that and how she is also a pastor in the church. She broke down a lot of information, and she left off on part 9. Well, here we are. She uploaded part 10 and part 11. So we're going to react to that first, and then we're going to get into how I feel, and then I'm going to let you guys sound off about this. So it's really crazy, but I don't want to, rehash what we already went over. Please check out part 1, and we can start from, go from there and click on here when you guys are done. So I'm going to go ahead and play part 10. Stephanie had to put part 10 up on YouTube due to TikTok playing games. TikTok is actually getting very strict, which is crazy to me. But let's go ahead and react.
It is part 10. And don't worry, I'm still working on that additional story that I'm working on about a missing kid that is not related to this story. And hopefully, with the help of you guys, we'll be able to help her bring her baby home. So let's get into part 10. So this is Anthony, and he is the biological father of Malachi. And if you forgot, Malachi is Sarah's oldest child. Now, the story begins at church in roughly around 2002, 2013. And according to a nosy bystander who we're obviously going to keep anonymous, they actually laid out the framework of the story, and yeah, it's sad. Now, in 2002, 2013 is when Malachi was conceived. Anthony and Sarah were both members of the church for obvious reasons for Sarah, and Anthony's both mother and grandmother were active members of the church and their choir. According to our anonymous nosy bystander, once Sarah got pregnant, Anthony was no longer seen at the church, but his mother and grandmother still were. Anthony's mother and grandmother still maintained a relationship with Malachi in the church, and then slowly it just fizzled out, and that took over a course of 6 to 7 years. Our nosy bystander also told us that because of the age of Sarah, that T.D. Jakes and Sarita Jakes actually legally adopted Malachi. This could have been the catalyst as to why Anthony didn't have an active role in Malachi's life from 0 to 18. But by 2020, Anthony and Malachi were actually seen together in this Facebook post. There is no telling if they have an active relationship now, but based on these two smiles, it seems like they do. So, what is the reason for that, right? What is the exact reason as to keeping Anthony out of Malachi's life for 18 plus years? Well, the short answer is we don't know. We don't know if there was a non disclosure agreement kept between Anthony and the Jakes. We don't know if Anthony even knew the whereabouts of where Malachi was being raised for all those years. But what we do know is that the Jakes do have a history of keeping people out of their lives in order to maintain this picture perfect family. And the best example will be TD and Sarita Jakes. So let's take a quick look into their past and see exactly what it is they're trying to erase. According to Essence magazine, TD and Sarita met when he visited her father's church in Berkeley, West Virginia. TD Jakes was only 23 years old, and then they ended up getting married in 1982. Now, if Jermaine was born in 1980 and Jamar was born in 1979, who exactly is their dad? Well, we don't know, and there's really no way to figure it out. And because it was a different time, we do understand that most men were Rolling Stones. But it does give us a framework on exactly how this family operates in making sure that their families look picture perfect. There's nothing wrong with a man stepping up to take care of children. That's actually a good thing. What is bad is erasing these men and women out of the lives of their children in order to maintain some sort of image. What it looks like is a bastardization of perfection. Now, let's take a deeper analysis on how far the Jakes will go for that perfect image. Part 11.
Okay, so that was her part 10. I was like, okay, I had already been digging up on the Jakes family because, like I told you, if we're going to talk about one, we got to talk about them all because, yeah, whatever. But anyway, I had noticed that the oldest two sons were married, or not married, but born before the family was married. But honestly, I did not connect the dots that those were not TD Jake's sons. The main reason being because they favor him, I guess. In my opinion, I didn't feel like they didn't look like him, but I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they look like the mama. But then I did notice that TD Jakes Jr. was, of course, younger than them. So I was like, dang, why wouldn't the firstborn have been the junior? But who knows? I mean, I didn't put two and two together until Stephanie pointed that out. And I was like, who who is their dad? And then another thing that shocked me, I had no idea that they had actually adopted Sarah's daughter. Now, we mentioned this in part one of my live on Friday, how it's not uncommon that your family takes your children if they feel like, you have things that you need to work on and get together before you can have your child. But I was like, dang, to legally adopt, not like take guardianship, temporary guardianship, custodialship, but to adopt your daughter's child. It just screamed, like I said, the Greenleaf. Why are you guys adopting the child? I just felt like that was way too much. Granted, she was 14, but she could still live her life and and be a mom. I had a amazing teacher. She passed away, but anyway, she actually gave birth to her first child at 12 years old, and she went off to go to school and become a teacher. She was my English teacher. She motivated me and inspired me so much. So I do not believe that your life ends when you have children. So for them to adopt them, I just wonder, was that something that she was comfortable with? Is that something that Sarah may grow up and feel some type of way about? How does the son feel? Like, we can say that she was 14 and she was a child, but at the end of the day, if she wanted to keep her baby and have all rights, I feel like she may feel some type of way when she gets older that she may not express to them. That's just my opinion on that. So that was part of 10 that Stephanie broke down. And she just basically laid the foundation for how the Jakes family basically alienates any and everyone that does not fit their picture perfect lifestyle, and including Sarah Jakes' child's father. It was crazy that the fact that Sarah Jakes met a boy through the church, and the boy's mother and grandmother were well known in the church. They were deeply rooted in the church of several years, and they still were going even after Sarah had gave birth. the son was not going, but then, over the few years, they finally stopped going. That just shows to me the level of the Black family. And I feel like this. I know that we love the Lord and we love God and, the church, but we will betray our own to sit around the people that do us wrong. Why are y'all still going to a church full of people that have alienated and ridiculed, betrayed your family? This is your son. This is your own. This is your flesh and blood. Why in the hell are y'all still going to that church? There are plenty other churches. There are so many avenues for the way that you can seek the Lord and the Lord's message. There's no reason why you have to alienate your own and still go to this church. How do you think this 14-year-old boy felt? These are children. For goodness sakes, he can't see his child. He probably thought he loved Sarah. Let's be 14 again. He probably thought he loved this little girl. He probably thought they were going to spend the rest of their life together. He probably wanted to marry her because that's what you do in the church. And y'all literally continue to go to this church and make sure that the son never came back. How freaking dare y'all? How dare y'all? So that was my initial reaction to part 11 or part 10. Please comment your thoughts below. Again, I am going to drop the call-in link for y'all to call in because we're going to talk about this together. But that was my initial reaction. I just cannot believe that family was well into that church and continue to go there even after the son was not allowed there anymore. Like, wow. So we're going to get into Stephanie's final part to this. She said it's her final part, but y'all know it could be more.
And here's what they have to say. And thank you very much. This is the final part, part 11. Part 10 was taken down, but I went ahead and posted it here. So let's get into the final part, okay? I went ahead and spoke with somebody who was actually at the trial of Michelle and Cora for baby Jason. And here's what they have to say. Now, just to preface this witness was actually a longtime friend of Cora's, but of course, as we grow older, we grow apart. This person was actually there for the trial of Michelle, and she stated that Cora also took the stand in that trial. Now, according to this witness, when Cora took the stand, she made it very clear that she was not infertile. And why is that important? Well, first, Cora has made it abundantly clear that her infertility is what brought her to wanting to be a mother to adoptive children. And second, Cora actually states it a number of times in her 2 released books. But let's take a look again at Michelle's statement.
They paid my lawyer off. They paid the judge off. They didn't even want to submit their income documents, her health documents.
Now that's interesting because why exactly would Cora and her team not want to submit her health records? Well, I think we figured it out. Well, first, if Cora stated that she was not infertile, then that wouldn't be a reason as to why she would want to take someone else's child. And the second portion is actually tied into this story. Now pay close attention. After speaking to 4 witnesses who are very close to the family, 2 of them actually still working for the church, let me tell you this story as to why Cora would never want her medical records released. In the fall of 2007, Cora had a bright idea to go and meet a man in Kentucky. And we know that because 2 of the witnesses actually joyrided with her. According to the witnesses, when Cora's family found out that she was in Kentucky meeting this strange man, they went ahead and shipped her back to Texas. After a litany of doing wild things that teens do, Cora was actually shipped off to California. According to the 2 witnesses here, Cora actually stayed at Bridges Recovery, a mental health and counseling facility. The only reason we know why Cora was in California, well, it's because of this. While Cora was in California, she actually geotagged herself in Beverly Hills, California, and this is from her MySpace era. And that's not all. The actual witness that I spoke to was on Cora's call list while she was at the facility and spoke to her a number of times. Knowing that Cora may have allegedly spent a stint at a mental health facility may be one of the main reasons why Cora didn't want to release her medical records to the court. It could also be a reason as to why Cora and Brandon did not go through the traditional route of adoption. Now, although the state of Texas does not have a requirement for psychological evaluation, many agencies in the state of Texas, including this one here, actually conduct psychological and readiness tests for potential parents. And if you ask me, the only way Cora was going to get a baby is if she took it. Allegedly. So that's it, you guys. That's all I got, all 11 parts. And don't worry, Cora, we got all the text we need. Bye, you guys.
Yes, and she did confirm. I was gonna say it, but Cora did lock down her social media. She does still have her TikTok, but she has not uploaded on her TikTok since March. So really nothing to see there. But she did lock down her Twitter. And if y'all know anything about Twitter, baby, it's hard to remember what you tweet, and it's even harder to delete. So she had to just put it on private, because baby, that search is vicious. Anyway, as you guys heard, Cora went to court alleging that she's not infertile, even though she has written 2 books about it. She has made numerous social media posts about it, and she does not have her own children. That could mean that maybe she's not infertile. Maybe it was the husband that, his swimmers weren't swimming. We know that they, over the course of history, have always made it seem like women suffer from infertility, when low key, sometimes the swimmers just aren't swimming. So I thought it was really, really, really strange that she denied being infertile, but have used that. And I'm going to say used. She has used that as a talking point in her ministry. Again, that is another vital part of why you cannot believe certain people. Did you lie or are you lying? Either way, you're lying. But which one? Are you infertile or are you not? And if you are infertile, why did you lie on stand and say that you were not? And if you are not lying about not being infertile, why the hell did you publish 2 books, and why do you stand on the pulpit preaching to women who suffer from being infertile and aiding to that? Again, what is it? I wouldn't say Munchausen. What is it when you basically when you trick someone but you aid into them? I can't even think of it right now, y'all. My coffee's barely kicking in. But either way, she's a liar. Now, as you guys heard, Stephanie said that she had a source that was saying the information, that basically she was there and she was confirming that she was in the court and she heard how the trial went down. Well, we think we found the person that actually was in the courts, and is alleging to be also a victim of these people, this family, in the Potter's house. So I'm going to go ahead and play these TikToks where she actually spoke out. This is brought to us by another TikToker by the name of Who Is She?
That is going around of that young lady in regards to Cora Jakes. That video is true. I was there when Cora had the conversation with the girl. And so to the ones that's wondering why she waits so long, because I'm going to be honest with you, when you're in that type of power, or when you have that type of power and you're in that position, compared to somebody like us, ain't nobody gonna believe you. I know a whole lot of things that went on, and I told my mom. My mama was the only one that believed me, and when I tried to tell my truth before I left the Potter's house, they escorted me and my kids out. So yeah, everything she's saying is true. No lies detected. Video that is going around of that young lady. Jason returns back to his mama, because every child needs their mother. And Cora preys on women that have an issue with their mother. I'm not going to disclose any names, but my goddaughter was in the same situation with Cora. Matter of fact, we talked about it today. And I told my goddaughter she better not give her baby to Cora. We had issues with that. We struggled with that. It's just sad. She can't have a baby, but she does. She does prey on women that are vulnerable, that are in certain situations. That Jason returns back to his mom.
So do y'all think that The goddaughter, this lady that was just on the screen, her name is Adria. Do you guys think that Adria's goddaughter is Ruby's mama, the new best friend of Cora, who gifted her the best gift ever of a baby? Or is there another woman that she is courting? Things that make you go, Now, what I have noticed in this trend is there are a lot of people that have been speaking out, and the way that they speak out, some people don't believe them. And the main reason why is because why don't you just say everything? Well, when you're dealing with someone that has money and power, you know that there's certain things that you cannot say and there's certain things that you can say. Now, you can say your truth, but if you say the wrong thing, you could be held accountable and it could, ruin your life. And these people already have nothing. So that is the reason why a lot of them are talking in code, especially when it comes to the church. I believe that if Adria, the girl that was just on the screen, really knows more than knows as much as she's saying that she knows, that it could be very, very bad for this church, the Potter's House, which means that they will do any and everything to secure their legacy and secure their name. So she may be hushed, just like the 14-year-old child father of Sarah. He was hushed. So it's really, really crazy. Hey, Roxy. Roxy said, Audrey, you should interview Michelle Loud. Larry Reed is actually actively speaking to Michelle Loud, and you guys can go over to his channel and watch the videos. Now, I will say this. I like Larry Reed's channel, but he has the way he runs his show. So it does take a while for him to get to the meat and the potatoes, and that can deter a lot of people's attention span. So you guys do have to stick it out and watch it because he does get to it, but it takes a few minutes. I mean, I can't tell you to fast forward through it because you may miss something, but he is interviewing her. You just have to watch it, but it takes a while. He be talking, he goes through his spiel, and yeah, it takes a little while to get there. So I meant to say that in the first part. I do have a short attention span, but if I'm studying something, I will stick it out. So that's the only reason why I stuck it out. But a lot of people did reach out to me like, girl, when does he start talking about it? I'm like, girl, I'm sorry. He goes through his whole spiel. So that's my tidbit on that. No disrespect. It's just the truth. So now that we got the Stephanie TikToks out the way and the alleged Adria who witnessed all of this, I want to tell you guys my theory, my thoughts, and my opinion. This is not fact. None of this can be proved. This is just my opinion. Now, in the chat, can anyone tell me what, and we mentioned this in part one, when you think of TD Jakes, what is the saying that comes to mind when you think of TD Jakes? There's one definite saying and one definite thing that he has done that makes you know exactly who he is. So I'm gonna wait a few seconds, see if y'all can spit it out. But if not, I'm gonna tell you guys. We mentioned it in part one, though. I'll give you guys a hint. It's a movie, and it used to be played all the time on BET. Yes. Woman, thou art loose. You got it, Sharice. That is when you think of TD Jakes, that scripture and that his whole impact is surrounded by those very words. Women, thou art loose. Now, he wrote a book about it, and then he turned around and he was able to get this book made into a movie. So really quickly, for example purposes, we're going to go ahead and read the description of Women Thou Art Loose so you guys can understand what exactly this movie is about, and then we're going to just follow me. Okay, so Women That Are Loose is a movie. It's a drama adaptation. Y'all know adaptation means that it came from a book. So when you think about the overview of the movie, it says, when Michelle Kimberly, who was played by Kimberly Elise, is only 12 years old, she is adored by Reggie, which is Clifton Powell, the boyfriend of her mother, Loretta Devine. When her mother does not believe her accusations, Michelle runs away and begins a downward spiral that includes drugs and selling herself, eventually landing in prison. There, she hears of Bishop T.D. Jakes, playing himself, a preacher who works with women like her. Jakes takes an interest to Michelle's case and visits her. So that is basically what the movie is about. It is about a broken woman who became broken because she was SA'd. Nobody believed her, not even her mother. Her innocence was gone. Like, if you saw the movie, there was a connection to the dress that she wore on her birthday. That whole day, her 12th birthday was when, or the dance, I don't know if it was her birthday or the dance that she went to, or something where she was wearing this pretty dress, and that really was the time she died. Let's just put it like that. This character died that day because this man took her innocence. So that's what all the whole movie is about, right? But she finds solace into T.D. Jakes. Well, fast forward now, you guys know for two decades, there has been a Women That Are Loose convention. This is one of the biggest conventions that this church puts on, and it raises a lot of money. So we're going to go ahead and read about the Women That Are Loose convention that they do host. Ironically enough, this is their final one. This is called the Homecoming, the grand finale. It is going on in September, and it reads, "It's the end of an era. The final curtain call for Women That Are Loose conference is underway. It's time to step into the spotlight and take a bow for all you accomplished and how fabulous you've become." Right? So it talks about the vital, or the Women That Are Loose superstar class of 2022. I'm sorry. Mind you, it's the same four people every goddamn time, but for example purposes, let's go through it. We have Bishop T.D. Jakes. He is known as most likely to build an empire. Mrs. Sarita A. Jakes, which is the wife, she is most likely to inspire others. Pastor Cora Jakes, most likely to shatter glass ceilings. Someone in the chat, tell me what the saying shatter glass ceilings means. And then finally, the other daughter, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, she is most likely to have her own hashtag. She definitely did that. She is someone that has, been in the spotlight since she was 14. So it says stories or memories from the past, stories for the future about Women That Are Loose, this huge conference. It says what Bishop T.D. Jakes started as Sunday school lessons at his church in West Virginia in 1992 has transformed into one of the nation's most reviving women's conference. Through the years, Bishop Jakes has loosed multitudes of women from the shackles of abandonment, low self-esteem, addiction, and more to become victorious, secure women. Women That Are Loose held its first conference in 1996. It's now a quarter century later. WTAL comes through to that original location for its triumphant grand finale. So this has been going on for over 20 years, you guys. This entire production has been going on for 20 years, right? Now, why are we bringing up Women That Are Loose? What is the connection? The main thing that T.D. Jakes is known for is happening in his very family. The main thing, I'm going to say it one more time, the main thing that T.D. Jakes is known for is happening in his own house. So why can you not, why are you not using these tools that you are giving to other women that you do not know and using them for your very children? Things that make you go, really, really strange. Now, is there a whole thing of how you make profit when exploiting women, especially women that are broken? Is that not the trend? Did we not hear that Michelle was someone that was broken, that needed help? And what did they do? They took that into consideration and used it against her. This other victim that stepped forward, named Adria, she's claiming that no one believes her story. She has not said exactly what her story is, but she said that she has witnessed a lot. I think it is very, very weird. And I think that is very, very strange that they had this convention and their children are running amok. Their household is running amok, and they are also using women to gain the life that they want. Now, when I told you guys to tell me the definition of shatter ceilings, shattering ceilings means that there is no limit to how far you will go, no limit to how high you will go, right? If there's a ceiling, you're going to break through it to go up higher. So she's going to use that own message to basically do what she's been doing. She's not going to stop until she gets the life that she wants and the children that she wants. Is there anything wrong with wanting to be a mother? No. Is there anything wrong with adopting? No. But why are you not adopting again? Let's bring this back full circle with the women that are loose. Now, we know that the husband is in jail right now for SAing their adopted daughter. Is this not eerily similar to the movie Women That Are Loose? And unfortunately, before I went live, someone did send me a screenshot. I am not going to post this because this is all alleged and I do not want to out another victim. But allegedly, another victim came forward, and I'm just going to read you guys what it says. You will take it for what it is. This is all alleged. So the alleged victim's mother shared the post about Brandon, which is Cora's husband, being arrested for his SA allegations against the adopted daughter. And she said, if this SA case gets handled before my 4-year-old's SA case, I'm going to lose it. Because something is seriously wrong with the justice system. I am sick to my stomach daily, and I pray this child can feel safe again, because it's been a journey for our 4-year-old daughter, blank, and for my family. It amazes me how R is looked over or taken lightly to call for a reconcile, never in a million years. So basically, they're trying to get this to stop. They don't want to take this to court. When my child's world and our family have been turned upside down, sick people will turn your world inside out, then cry wolf when they violate and hurt an innocent child. I'm infuriated. So if I curse a little and offend you, please delete me. My child didn't deserve to be R'd, neither did this baby. Can y'all understand why there's so much outrage around this? It blew my mind. And the only reason why I'm bringing so much light to this is because this whole man's entire legacy is built off of the exploitation of a broken women that are loose, a woman who was hurt, a woman that he seeked out to help after hearing her story. And the whole time, this is unfortunately happening in his goddamn house. This is happening in his damn church, where he continues to preach about the women that are loose. It is crazy. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Now, I do actually personally know someone that actually went to the Women That Are Loose conference. Now, just to tell you guys a little bit about her, she, when she explained it to me yesterday, she was just saying that basically she went to the conference because her mother was in the process of transitioning. She was battling cancer, and she was, of course, heavy into the church. The person I know, she was heavy into church, and she heard about the conference and she wanted to go because, again, she was at a time where she was vulnerable. She was at a time where she really wanted to hear the word of God, find some type of people that understand her, people that can help her, a community, right? She said when she went to this conference, she felt like she didn't learn anything. She did not feel like that the message of God was anywhere in there, and she did not receive anything that came from it. I was like, damn, you didn't like nothing? She was like, no, I wasn't moved at all. For someone to say that, and this has been going on for 20 decades, and then, or not 20 decades, 20 years, 2 decades, dang, it's people that out here that's saying that they did not feel anything that you guys are claiming that this experience is supposed to be. It was a money grab. Exactly. I couldn't say it fast enough. It was a money grab. And again, I'm going to continue to say it. You can make money when you exploit women. Period, point blank. I think it is very strange that their men conferences, their children conferences are not as big as the Woman Thou Art Loose conference. TD Jakes is a man. There is no way that you can teach me anything about the woman experience as that. So you being the headliner for this, okay, cool. But why can't you do this strong, powerful message to the men of the church, to broken men? Why are your messages not easily conveyed? And are you guys using this conference to find vulnerable and weak women to use them to your own advantage? Are you guys using your church for this same thing? Because remember, they have studied the art of finding broken women and luring them in my opinion. It's crazy, y'all. It is very, very crazy. And it's things that make you scared. Now, yes, the church is made up of majority women, and we know this that it is a undeniable sense of loyalty, because we can take this back to Sarah's child's father. His own mother and grandmother continued to go to the church while that boy was casted out of that same church. Did those women feel alone? Did they feel like they were broken? Because there's no mention of the Sarah's child's father's father or grandpa being members of the church, but the mother and grandmother were, and for many, many years, even after the son was no longer able to go back. Do what you will with the avenue that I went down, but just remember, like I told you guys, remember on the word of the man is just the word of the man. It is not law. It is not going to guarantee you into the pearly gates of heaven or guarantee you into the life that you want to live here on the earth side. This story is completely sad, and I feel like in a few years, the reckoning is going to continue to come. There's no way that you can own a mega church. There's no way that you can sell books, have shows, have movies, and continue to hide the truth. People are going to continue to come out, and people are going to continue to speak out. And I believe that it's going to continue to be more women and children, unfortunately. And of course, do we know if Cora knew anything about these allegations set up against her husband? Well, I can't say for certain, but it is very strange that they coincidentally got a divorce right before the allegations were posted. What the hell were y'all doing before then? And how in the hell are you guys having so much unlimited access to children? Sorry, y'all. My phone was ringing. So I did go ahead and post the link. I want you guys to call in and give your thoughts. Please remember, all this is alleged. So anything that you say is just your opinion. I do not have any rights over to your opinion, but I do want to hear how you guys feel. How do you guys feel about the Michelle lady? Before that, I do also want to mention, because someone did slide in my DMs on Instagram and they did point something out. They said that it appeared that, they are having a hard time believing Michelle. Michelle is the woman that is alleging that Cora took her child. And the main reason being is because Michelle's story is all over the place, but she appears to be, in their words, a perpetual victim. They said that when they looked at her Instagram page that she had just posted a few years ago or a few months ago about her oldest child being taken from her as well and going through a custody battle and having people lying and saying that she's unfit. So they're like, how does this keep happening with a mother that is so fit? I don't know. I truly do not know. And I'm not trying to take sides. I'm not trying to overlook Michelle and maybe her struggles to get this story out, but I truly don't know anything about it. I did actually look at the Instagram post, and I'll read it to you guys so you guys can see, and you take it for what you will. I just don't have enough about Michelle to know exactly. I don't know if she's telling the truth. I don't know if she's a perpetual victim, but either way it goes, it does not matter for this situation with the Jakes family, because other people have spoken out and confirmed that they too have been in a weird situation with the Jakes family. Let me find the post here on Instagram real quick. Oh, she may have deleted it. Hold on. Oh, I do not see it anymore. I had seen it the other day. I didn't screenshot it. Oh, crap. No crap. Oh, crap. I don't think she has it up anymore. She may have deleted it, y'all. I think it's deleted. If I do happen to find it, I'll screenshot it and post it back. But I don't think it's up anymore. I do not see it. But I just don't feel like, I don't know who her child's father was. I don't know what the story is behind her losing her first child and getting the custody back and going through a custody battle. I will say that, during custody battles, there are times where you can lose your children, get them back, whatever the case may be. I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, it's still weird that this child that the it's still weird that the child that Cora adopted is not in her care, and it wasn't like the child went to foster care or went into the system. If it was like that, then I would say, oh, she is allegedly a neglectful mom, but that's not the case. I do want to show you guys here this is one of the sons, one of TD Jake's sons, in a picture with her. This one right here. I believe this is one of the sons. I'm not sure. It looks like him. But I had seen this a few days ago and I was like, is that one of the sons? So that just confirms that, yeah, she definitely knew these people. She's not lying. That this is something that she knew. So yeah, someone wanted me to point that out, and I said I'll talk about it and give my opinion. But my opinion, I don't really have one. I need to know more to the story, but that has nothing to do with someone that is not a family taking this child and you no longer being able to see your child's names get changed. And if she was such a neglectful mother, she wouldn't have the other children. She does have the daughter back. India said both can be true. She may not be the most fit. That doesn't mean her baby wasn't taken. Exactly. That's what I'm like. But I'm trying to figure out where this one post of her saying she went through a custody battle and having people lie on her has anything to do with Cora, which is not her family, not a foster care taker, not an adoption agency taking her child. Like, yeah, I do understand that. I don't believe that Michelle, in her right mind, would sign over her rights and then change her mind. Michelle's not asking for money. Michelle has made $0 from telling this story. If anything, this story has probably ruined her life. So that's just my tidbit on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and add Trey to the stream. Hold on. Hey, Trey.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Here was my issue with the whole thing because it has so many twists and turns with it. I can't even keep up at this point. But I want to know, what is the relationship that he has with women? Because it seems to me, when you were talking about the conference has been going on for 2 decades, and I watched the movie and I wasn't really like necessarily moved by the movie. It was just like, okay, it's, a regular little movie, whatever. I just feel like he has an issue or issues with women to the point where he always feels like he has to fix them. Because if your daughter is having a baby at 14, that's an issue. That's a parenting issue. Like, what's going on in your household? Like, what is your background outside of being, a pastor?
Mm-hmm. And why you can't use those same tools that you're giving to grown women, that you can't give to your children, because if you instill it into them early, they don't have to learn it later on in life. So what was your 14-year-old child going through to the point where she was finding solace with a little boy?
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, and you know how people say like preachers' kids are the worst, which can be true. Sometimes it can be true because they don't want to be like their parent. They want to figure out their identity for themselves, which I totally understand. But having a baby, that's a bigger issue. And I just feel like that's why people cannot put these preachers on a pedestal like that, because you have to remember that people at the end of the day are still human. Like, you're listening to a man of God, but they're not God.
Mm-hmm. And on top of it, a lot of preachers' kids that I know, they have all said that their parents kind of like punish them through God, like, only talk about God, only talk about God. And it takes less of the human experience, because we will never be perfect like God. We will have our flaws, but they feel like they are always chasing perfection. And that is why they, act out the way that they do. So it could
Yeah.
be a situation where, she's like, damn, you punish me with God, you motivate me with God. Like, when are we going to just talk like regular people?
Yeah, that's true too. Because I had a friend, and her and her family was like heavily into the church, and she was very book smart, but common sense, she just was lacking. And I'm like, girl, no, you don't do stuff like this. And she'd always think everybody was just so nice and trusting. I'm like, no, it don't work like that. Like, what are your parents teaching you? And she was like, well, we always talk about it in church. I'm like, baby, they will prey on you with a quickness if they think this is how you gonna respond to everything. Like, you cannot do that.
That is so true, Trey. That is so true. Like, they always reference church or God or the Bible. Like, they can't have any other outside conversations, intelligent conversations without that. It's really strange. So I do believe that could be a part of why Sarah may have gotten pregnant at a young age. And I think that's why so many people gave her grace. But no one's going to continue to give a family grace that have serious sexual allegations against them and child exploitation charges against them. That is unacceptable. Period.
Yeah, and I know I had asked in the chat. I was like, "Well, did the church say anything?" And somebody had responded. I think it was India, saying that probably, most churches won't respond. But I just feel it's so much stuff that be going on in church. It's crazy, and I understand when people be like, "I don't want to go to church. Like, I'm not really into church." Like, I understand when people say it, but you just gotta go. Like, you cannot be involved in the inner workings of a church, because then you're gonna really find out how people are. Once you try to get close to like the deacons, the pastor, it's just too much. I'm like, why do y'all want to be ingratiated with these people like this? Like, they're still human. Like, they still gonna make you mad. They still gonna piss you off. They gonna do everything that any other person would do. They just go to your church.
Exactly. My grandma, she always said that your connection to God, you of course learn about God, and you continue to worship God through the church, but your relationship with God should be something that's very personable, and you should not have to seek through validation of anyone else. But a lot of people don't know the difference of that, especially women who are going through a hard time, and you hear this man on TV saying, come here, this is a safe place, this is a place of worship, this is a place for anointing, this is a place for getting all those feelings off. But it's weird because they have shunned the people that are going through this and getting their feelings off about how they have been treated in this very church. They no longer can talk about it. They no longer can visit the church. It's really weird. How can you guys say this, but then shut other people out?
Exactly. But you gotta also like think about all of the kind of like mega churches and mega pastors around him, like Creflo Dollar. He had that incident. What's the other pastor? He had passed away, but he had the whole thing going on with the sexual assaulting of the young boys. It's like everything is going around. And I'm not saying that, it's him, of course, but it's like it's the company you keep, honey. Like, what's going on? Like, why is everybody around you doing this and you cannot see it?
Exactly. Especially your daughter's husband, and your daughter happens to be a youth pastor.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand like infertility and that's a whole nother thing, but allegedly, because she said that she not, so who knows? But you cannot put yourself like if you cannot have something, you can't put yourself in the face of what you cannot have like weekly. That's
Exactly.
just gonna torture you. That's gonna make you do things that you know you shouldn't do. Like what she's doing is not of God. Like if you're trying to help, that's one thing, but you're preying on these women. But I'm thinking also, this is what she's been taught. She's been taught by her father that
Mhm.
you prey on vulnerable women.
Absolutely. Hence why he is known for women that are loose. Every time I look him up, that just kept popping up. And I'm like, damn, I get it. He wrote the movie. Oh, no, he wrote the book. Oh, no, he's had a convention. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So he has a whole message of helping women. And he cannot help the very women in his household. No, that's incompetence. That's no, you failed the assignment. Mm-mm.
Yeah, very much so felt it. Then the other thing I wanted to say was that I just feel like how do you not acknowledge it? Like how do you just say like, oh, these people are lying and just people are just supposed to believe that?
Exactly. It's like, or maybe they'll talk about it at church. Maybe they're, talking about it within their congregation, and we just outside parties won't know. But somebody needs to whistle blow and something.
Somebody has to do something because like even at the church I go to, I remember when I was a kid, we had a music like somebody over the music ministry, and then he wasn't there no more. And then the rumor was is that he had fathered a baby with a lady in the church, and so the lady was still going there for some time, and then she stopped going. But then they had got a new ministry person, and that also is another thing. It's like you should punish both people. Like if you're going to do that, both people need to be punished, or you need to talk to them or something. But that's why I'm like, people are still people no matter what, no matter if they in the church or out the church. And like, if you giving money to the church, you trying to be acknowledged in the church, like, people are still gonna be people at the end of the day.
And that's why God told you not to chase perfection. We are not supposed to be perfect people. We are definitely flawed. We definitely have our sins and we have our quirks, but churches have to stop turning their backs on people at the first time that they make a mistake. Sarah's child's father, a 14-year-old boy, he should have been embraced by the church. Why the
Exactly. Or
hell?
at least have been like mentored at some kind of point, like talk to them. Like, and that's another thing, like people that are heavily into the church, they don't talk to their kids about sex. They tell them not to do it. And what
Mhm.
happens when you tell somebody not to do something?
They're curious.
They gonna do it. So like when you having them I was even thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't ever remember having like any kind of like sex talk with my parents. I'm like, yeah, so at that age when you are curious, obviously you're gonna do stuff, and then you already gonna be influenced because you already like the little boy or whatever. So yeah, I mean, it just was a recipe for disaster. And it's like you still doing this conference, but the two people that's leading the conference are the most effed up. No, baby, you wouldn't see me in it.
Especially the mom. I do, because at the end of the day, the father being a pastor, he's busy. Let's just put it like that. He's busy. But
Hmm.
baby, when it comes to my kids, I'ma always be involved. I'ma always talk. I'ma always know what is going on. And her, especially having daughters, I feel like there is a certain connection between a mother and a daughter. It's like, let's talk one on one. I'm a girl. I know what it feels to be a girl. I tell people this all the time. I knew I liked boys. The first time I started kindergarten, baby, the first day I thought I saw a cute boy. The next day I knew I had to come to school cute because I like the boys. And I fortunately had sisters and other people that told me that it's normal, but hey, it ain't. Don't kiss nobody, don't let nobody touch you. So I knew that boundary. But
Hmm.
if I was in a space where I was shunned for feeling that way, yeah, I would have definitely been more curious. Like, so why can't I like boys again? Why am I supposed to kiss them? Like, you just telling me I ain't supposed to ain't good enough. Why?
Yeah, because it's like and then kids are curious anyway. They're always gonna ask why when you tell them like anything. They always gonna be like, well, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Or why did you tell me this? I just feel like those conferences that people go to, I'm just not with it. I just always feel like every conference is a money grab. And my friend, she was asking me to go to, are you familiar with Heather Lindsay? I think that's her name.
No.
It's her and her husband, I can't remember the husband name, but they do this conference called the Pinky Promise. And I'm not certain about what, I think the Pinky Promise is basically like being celibate until you find your husband or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So I just was like, something ain't right about this girl. Like, something is not right about her. And then, now look, now you know how the church be like, you're not supposed to have fornication, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, whatever. But she was saying that she didn't think that oral sex was of God, or she said it wasn't godly or something. I said, "Oh no, baby,
Like that's where I draw the line at." And you know,
I said, "Oh no, honey." I said, "Now you talking crazy talk." But my friend, she ended up going to the conference because they had it here in St. Louis. She ended up going, and she was like, "Well, will you go with me?" I said, "Girl, I don't like her. I'm not spending my money to go hear her." And so she ended up going by herself because even her mama was like, girl, I'm not interested in hearing her. No, something about her is not right. So she said she ended up going. She was like, she said she basically did not get nothing out of it. She was like, she was like, I wanted a picture with her and her to sign the book or whatever. And she was like, and her husband signed it. And he wrote some kind of weird message in there. And she was like, I was so confused. I was like, see, that's what you get for spending your damn money.
Exactly. And again, sometimes the message is just not there for you to receive. And I was always taught that if you did not receive that message, it was not for you. It was for someone completely else. That's why sometimes you can go to church and you can be into the word and you feel like, damn, God spoke directly to me. But sometimes you can be like, who are you talking to? Who back there?
I'll be like that. I'll be like, what I'm gonna do today? What I'm gonna do after church? But sometimes when that message hitting you a little too hard, you be like, let me slow down in this seat a little bit.
Yes, I'd be like, ooh, let me cover my eyes. Like, ooh, yes, that one hit. But you know, they know exactly who to target. Period. They know these people that conventions, especially women. And I hate to always say black women, but I'm a black woman. I only know from a black woman's perspective. We are the high. We pay, especially when it has things to do with healing. It has things to do with finding a husband, and when it has things to do with children. Baby, you get our money. Them is the 3 ways in church to make sure that we get the money. If you telling me that I can get a man by doing these things, you tell me I can heal my past traumas by going here. Oh yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in. And
yep.
trust.
And you always I always say, like, you gotta look up the makeup of like places when you go to things, it be majority women. And it's like, if this conference is so good, then why wouldn't you do a conference that's geared towards men, like getting more men into the church?
Exactly. And I looked it up. I looked up the Potter's House and I looked up their men convention versus their women's. They have a marriage like group, but when I clicked on that page, it gave me an error. So that marriage group may not be a good one. They have a children's one.
Because Cora was leading it.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh no, baby. But when I clicked that women's one, oh, it was cha-ching. And I think that is very strange. I also think that it's weird that TD Jake's other sons, the sons are not pastors. They are not in the church, but the 2 daughters are.
Because they know how they already like, this is some BS.
Precisely.
I want to know his background. I need to know what's going on with him. Like, what's going on with you as a man? I need to figure it out.
I definitely want to know. I definitely want to know more about the 2 children that Sarita had before him or maybe with him. I don't know, but those things, I see it coming undone here soon. Really.
Because you know how old people be like, baby, it's something on that family. It's something on them.
My grandma always said it. She's never liked TD Jakes ever.
I've never liked them either. Any kind of makeup pass, I just be like, I just can't do it. I cannot do it.
Yeah, my grandma was like, she didn't like him, Kirk Franklin, or Obama, but we ain't gonna talk about Obama. It was like top 3. She out.
Now what did Kirk Franklin do to her?
So my grandma said that Kirk Franklin is not of the church. She said that she went to one of his concerts with her sister-in-law, my aunt, and they were drinking and smoking at the concert. And my grandma said, yeah.
Yes.
You said what?
The patrons was drinking and smoking, or he was drinking and smoking?
No, the people in the patrons, the people in the crowd. But my grandma was like, he appeals, he's like the devil of music. That's how she went. And mind you, we grew up Kojic. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Kojic. It's Church of God in Christ. You know, like they didn't wear pants for a long time. Like, so this is a different type. This ain't Baptist. This is a different breed. They are very honed in, they are strict for a reason, but my grandma said, Kirk is not on her list, nor is TD Jakes.
Oh my goodness. I remember one of my friends was working a Kojic conference here. He was like, baby, I thought these people was like holy, holy, holy. He was like,
No. Yeah, no. And the Kojic church, I think they're by far one of the strictest. They're one of the strictest type of churches. So I was like, yeah, baby, I can relate. I didn't wear pants for a long time. I didn't start wearing pants till like grade school, y'all. I wore dresses and skirts, tights, and all that. Yes. Okay.
oh my gosh.
I know the Kojic lifestyle. So yeah, if y'all know the Kojic lifestyle, then yeah, y'all family probably don't like TD Jakes either, or Kirk Franklin, and maybe not Obama. I don't know why, but it's a no. No.
She said, them the three people on my list. I heard that, girl.
And I ain't even told her about this TD Jakes scandal. She gonna probably be like, no.
She gonna be the next caller. Now, Audrey, I told you about him.
She gonna be like, yeah, no, baby, no.
She gonna be like, I told you something wasn't right about him. Now look. Because it don't make no sense how he got all this scandal around him, but nothing happened to him. So I'm like, I know you're not bulletproof. Like nobody is, but come on, what's going on?
And mind you, it will be more personal. And this is why the new generation has basically left the church. Let's just put it like that, because we do not feel like y'all are people. We do not feel like y'all admit when y'all are wrong. And there is a power of owning and taking accountability when you're wrong. If you would got up on stage and said, I know that there are a lot of rumors surrounding my family right now. In due time, we will talk about it. That's step number one. We will be like, okay, so you do hear it. You are human. You are acknowledging that these are some serious allegations. And circle back, that's building trust, because you can't just sweep things under the rug. We all are hearing it, and it's getting worse and worse. Cora knows what's going on, hence why she locked down her social media.
It's because that Stephanie, baby, she was going back. She was Googling kids, dolls, everything possible.
And Stephanie had other people helping. So it was other people that was allegedly from the church, and it was just people that had time to just story. And I can relate, because people send me stuff all the time, and it helps me be able to further my investigation. So that's why Cora had to lock it down. It wasn't Stephanie that was digging per se. She didn't know who the hell it was.
Yeah, I feel like once people, as far as like church, I don't want to say gossip, but church allegations go, when people go to Larry Reed, it'd be over from there. Everything be coming out.
When they go to Larry Reed, it'd be over. And you got to sit there and listen to it to hear it, but it'd be over, baby. Yeah.
Girl, I'll be like, Larry, what is you talking about? What we gonna get to what we need to get to? I skipped through that video, and then I ended up having to go back to the beginning, because I'm like, okay, I missed something. Did he talk to her? And by the time I had got to the end, he was talking to her. I was like, dang it.
It was literally at like the 55-minute mark. I'm so sorry. I was like, damn. And I watched the whole thing. I was like, okay.
I mean, like when I went back, it was interesting, because he even said himself that he wasn't believing her at first, because it's like you said, like if I feel, me personally, like a person shouldn't be in that much distress that not only one allegation, but two allegations of you being an unfit parent and your child being taken away from you. Like, obviously, I can see something is going on with her, and she has sense enough to get the help that she needed. But it's just like, why do you keep having to combat these issues?
Exactly. And that's another thing that needs to be brought up in the church is mental health. Like, we say give it to God, and sometimes we can give it to a therapist, a licensed therapist.
Okay, because I go to therapy, baby. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna give it to God, but baby, the Lord, makes resources for us, so we need to go ahead and use the resources.
Couldn't say it no better than that, Trey. God put these people in these positions for a reason, and we shall go to them. There is nothing wrong with going to therapy. I cannot give it all to God. And sometimes you guys, we can hallucinate that God is responding to us in various ways when he is not. This is not God. I hear people say this, oh, God told me. God didn't tell you that. God said therapy. You ignored it. Three therapy commercials came on while you was watching TV. You ignored them all.
Exactly. You done heard it 3 times, so you didn't hear that.
You didn't think that was a God, but you got on your phone and you was like, that was God's message. He told you therapy. I seen the commercials 3 times pop up. If that ain't a sign, what is?
Okay. What is the sign? These people better stop playing. I just feel like you have to work to be your like most best self. And if you're not working to be that, then what are you doing?
Exactly. And that's why therapy gives you tools to do that, to be your best self. That you don't go into therapy and your therapist, it starts preaching at you. It's not. They put the power into you and to trusting yourself, to make logical thinking, to learn patterns, to find ways of yourself. When you go to church, they are telling you a message, but that doesn't fix the root of the problem.
Exactly. And then the other thing I think a lot of people don't understand is you're not going to get the best therapist for you on the first go around. Some people are, but I had to go through a few people, and I even went to like a white person before. I said, oh no, this ain't gonna work for me. You don't understand what's going on in the Black world.
I had to find a Black woman, but I too had to go through a few. I definitely did, because I feel like some just was not the itch for me.
Yeah, because I had a Black woman at first, and we was good at first, and then I was like, I'm just not getting anything out of this. And so I like switched and got me another person. Baby, she'd be holding me accountable. She'd be like, well, why did you say that? Why was that your response? I'd be like, girl, you're not supposed to question me.
Girl, baby, I'm like, who you talking to? Like, what the fuck? I gotta go, because you see you about to piss me off. I called you.
Okay. Like, I think you're not supposed to question me. And she'd be like, see, that's the problem. I'd be like, okay, girl, okay.
What you talk about? I'm like, I don't remember. Tell me.
Then she gonna bring out the notes. Well, last session, I don't want to hear about last session. We're on to new things.
Period. So I pray that these women that actually have come close to anything like this go to therapy, find someone that can help them, write in some journals. I don't know, but I'm not saying leave the church. Y'all still continue to go to God. If y'all are people that need God and his message to make it through your day, I am for that. I'm not saying leave the church, but what we are saying is make conscious decisions. You cannot put all your trust and faith into certain people. Learn discernment, because everybody is not for you. They may be for you to get what they want.
Exactly. And I also feel like when you go to church, like, don't always assume that your pastor is not like reachable. Like, if you got a question, if you want to ask something, you need to ask it, because you're a member. You should be valued. Like, you should bring your concerns to them, not in a way like, oh, I'm trying to figure out like the tea or something like that. But you should be able to be, you should be able to reach your pastor. Like, if you can talk to God, then you can talk to a man. Okay.
Especially with this type of allegations. A lot of people in the church have been sexually assaulted. So it's like they may want you guys to address that. Like, these are serious allegations. I too was a 5-year-old victim. I too was a 12-year-old victim. I too was a 14-year-old mom. Like, y'all better be addressing it, because I came here for the word and I feel like y'all lying.
Exactly. Okay, now y'all know y'all can come up here.
Man, well,
I say this every time. Y'all can come up here.
I ain't gonna bite, but thank you, Trey. I'm about to wrap it up here.
You're welcome. Bye.
But yes, y'all, I had this story is really crazy. I do think that it's going to be more that comes out about this, but a part of me hopes. I'm not praying for the downfall of a church, but everyone has their day. So the more they hide it, or the more that they don't want to address it, it may potentially get worse, because people are going to continue to dig. And at this point, I had to do very little digging to connect the dots, or come up with my own theories, and so did a lot of other people. So I don't know. The link is still pinned. I'm going to, give it a few more minutes if anybody else wants to call in. Yeah, Brittany, I know you have your own, you are a preacher's daughter, so I know that you have your own theories of the church as well. So if you want to call in and give your tidbit, please do so. Miss Ebony said that Cora is a little strange, especially when she sings about that water. I have never heard Cora sing. I know that is so crazy, but I didn't know she was singing the water. What was she talking about? Wade in the water? What we talking about? Cora Jakes songs are old school, y'all. Them songs be old. I was singing one song. My husband was looking, and mind you, my husband used to sing in church. That's how he learned that he could sing, and he didn't know none of the songs I was singing. I'm like, damn, we really sing different songs? Basically. Brittany said that she has nothing nice to say. Laugh out loud. Well, maybe if you want to spin the block and come back later and tell us your thoughts, please do so. But if you guys have made it this far, please subscribe and like this video. Your experience was very ghetto. A lot of people say that. But again, I don't know. I can't relate. I'm not a preacher's kid. I never have. I would not say that I don't like church or anything like that, but I have my own relationship with how I feel about it. And that's just that. Man, we was straight, period, honey. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Like, I'm telling you, my grandma used to have to pay us to stay awake in church because we would sleep because the songs would go on and on and on. And I got sleepy. Real sleepy. Yeah, I know the Clark sisters. They Kojic. That's the best example I can give y'all. If y'all seen the Clark sisters like movie and all those rules, how her mom was, then that is how the Kojic church is. So I'm gonna leave it there. And I will see y'all in the next video. If y'all have anything that y'all want me to talk about, please drop it in my DMs, drop it in my comments. I will do it. India says she hopes all the dirt gets exposed. Absolutely. I agree. I do. And I hope these people get justice. I do not think, that was another thing. Someone asked me, do I think that Michelle's going to get her son back? I think I said this in part 1. I do not think she's getting them back. I don't. I unfortunately don't. Those type of things, when you sign over your rights, it's not a quick fix. It's not an easy fix. And again, no judge is going to reverse this when this child has a seemingly good life. And so I just don't believe it. In a magic world, I would hope so, but I don't think that she's ever getting him back, unfortunately. And that's very, very sad. And that's why I think we need to continue to talk about this subject, because any other woman that is in this situation or presented this type of cards needs to think long and hard about the damage that it can do. I just opened the Bible and looked like you're praying. Girl, my grandma would have hit me. She'd have been like, wake up, stop it. But okay, y'all, I'll see y'all later. Bye.
And thank you. Oh yeah, thank you, Ms. Marcel. Yo, all props to you. And just you doing what you doing. And you got a voice. Keep doing what you doing. And you got a voice.